If they can disturb you, they already control you. Most people believe calm is something you are born with, a temperament reserved for monks or men untouched by pressure. But the warriors of ancient Japan understood a harsher truth. Calm was not a personality trait. It was forged, often through discomfort, restraint, and deliberate exposure to chaos. The calm that cannot be touched is not fragile. It is built to endure impact. In the traditions of Zen and Bushido, emotional stillness was considered a form of armor. Miyamoto Musashi wrote that when the mind is unsettled, the sword becomes clumsy, and when the heart is disturbed, judgment collapses. For the samurai, calm was not about peace. It was about clarity in moments when clarity mattered most. This was the difference between life and death. Chapter 1. The First Crack. There was a man named Haru who lived in a world far removed from duels and battlefields, yet his days were filled with constant tension. His work demanded precision, his relationships demanded patience, and his mind rarely rested. Small disruptions unsettled him more than he cared to admit. He carried a quiet frustration that followed him everywhere. Haru believed his unease was caused by circumstances beyond his control. He thought if the noise lessened, the pressure eased, or others changed, he would finally feel steady. But like many before him, he was mistaking external order for internal strength. The samurai would have seen this as a dangerous illusion. Chapter 2. The Way of the Still Mind. Zen teachings speak of the mind as a pond. When stirred, it reflects nothing clearly. Musashi trained himself to let disturbances pass without pursuit, understanding that reacting to every ripple only deepened confusion. The warrior who chased calm would never find it. The warrior who cultivated stillness would carry it everywhere. Haru encountered this idea unexpectedly while reading about Musashi's discipline. The concept unsettled him. It suggested that calm was not something to protect from the world, but something to establish within himself. If this were true, then his unrest was not imposed upon him. It was rehearsed. Chapter 3. Resistance and Discipline. At first, Haru resisted the idea of deliberate restraint. He believed reacting quickly meant being engaged, responsible, alive. Silence felt like surrender. Stillness felt like avoidance. Yet the samurai path demanded something counterintuitive, to remain composed even when emotion demanded expression. Haru began with a single rule. When tension arose, he would not move immediately. He would pause, breathe, and observe the sensation without naming it or judging it. This small delay felt uncomfortable, even unnatural. But discomfort, he learned, was not danger. It was training. Chapter 4. The Unseen Battle Bushido taught that the greatest enemy was internal disorder. The samurai did not fear fear itself, but being ruled by it. Musashi emphasized that when the mind is calm, the body follows without resistance. When the mind panics, even strength becomes useless. Haru noticed that his agitation often peaked and then dissolved on its own when left untouched. By not feeding it with reaction, he conserved energy. What once lingered for hours now passed in minutes. This was not suppression. It was non-attachment, a principle deeply rooted in Zen. Chapter 5. Building an Untouchable Center. Calm, the samurai believed, must be practiced when it seems unnecessary. Training did not occur only in crisis, but in routine. By choosing restraint in small moments, the warrior prepared for large ones. This was not heroic. It was methodical. Haru adopted this system quietly. He removed unnecessary responses, unnecessary explanations, unnecessary defenses. He spoke less, listened more, and acted only when clarity returned. Slowly, something changed. Situations that once unsettled him lost their power. Chapter 6. Identity over Emotion. In Dokudo, Musashi warned against being governed by feeling. Emotion was not denied, but it was never placed in command. The warrior's identity was anchored in discipline, not mood. This anchoring created freedom. Haru began to see himself differently. He was no longer someone seeking calm, but someone who practiced it. His sense of self shifted from reactive to deliberate. The world remained unpredictable, but his response did not. Chapter 7. The Calm That Endures. True calm is not silence or softness. It is stability under pressure. It does not announce itself. It is felt in how you stand, how you speak, and how you wait. The samurai understood that this calm unsettled others because it could not be manipulated. Haru now moved through his days with a quieter presence. He was not detached, but rooted. In moments of tension, he returned to stillness without effort. The calm that could not be touched was no longer an idea. It had become a way of being. In a world that thrives on reaction, this kind of calm is rare. It is earned slowly through restraint and repetition. But once established, it becomes unshakable. Like the warrior standing firm amid chaos, it remains when everything else gives way.